Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's Rachel here from Makers Gonna Learn, your ultimate die cutting community, bringing you another fun comparison video because you guys know I just couldn't help myself. Today we're comparing 3 different brands of epoxy resin. So whether you want to call it resin or epoxy, either way is totally fine. Really all we're comparing today is 3 different brands of A and B solution mixed resin. So anything that's part A, part B, that gets mixed together to create the hard resin. That is what we were comparing today. So we got 3 different highly rated brands on the internet, and we're going to be doing a head-to-head comparison, creating those today and showing you guys just how we created them and exactly how we did that. So we have our 3 brands here, and we're going to go over all the stuff to create these. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So there's a lot of stuff on the table, and we're going to be going through everything that you're going to need. So first and foremost, you're going to need gloves. We like to use these multi-purpose gloves. These are vinyl gloves, so that means that they are latex-free, powder-free, non-sterile, and fits either hand. So we got these off of Amazon. You can also get them at Walmart. They come in like packs of 100 for like $7-8. We got these on Amazon though. I will link all this stuff down below as well. And you're also going to need, of course, your resins, which we'll get to in a moment. You're going to need a lighter, some craft sticks, some little cups. So we have some glitter, but the only reason we're going to be using glitter today is so that you guys can actually see the epoxy, see the resin. Because the the testers that we've made for you guys, of course, they're clear, so you can't really see them. So we're going to be putting some glitter in that just to give you guys more visualization so you can see. We're going to be stirring all of this and making all of this on a cool little silicone mat. And that's going to protect your work surface and a lot of other things as well. So those are really cool too. And we also got a ton of these little molds here in like a pack of, I forget how many molds it came, but this all came off of Amazon. It's really cool stuff here. I love the molds. You can make ornaments, keychains, all types of stuff with this. And then you're also going to need, I think that's it. Definitely wear a protective shirt or a shirt that you don't kind of care about wearing. We have some smocks here, some crafting smocks. So definitely throw one of those on. I will. And then you guys put on some clothes you don't care about or something like that. And then I'll also show you guys some finished projects that we have from using these resins. But we're going to be comparing price, we're going to be comparing quality, what you get for the money, how much is in each bottle, and everything like that. So I cannot wait to jump into all that with you guys. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay guys, here are the brands that we're going to be comparing today. We have amazing Clearcast. This is a 2-part coating and casting resin. This is what we use here at Makers Gonna Learn. This is our go-to. So of course this was a no-brainer. And we put this head-to-head with another highly rated resin called HXD ZFX. I don't really think that's the words you say. I just think it's letters. But this is a 2-part epoxy resin as well. And then our third one, the box is pretty plain here, but it is called Peduo, and it is a 2-part epoxy resin. So these are the 3 that we're going to be comparing. So we'll just get started here. So I'm going to take this Peduo out of the box here. So this Peduo comes with 2 bottles here. Both of these are 8 ounces a piece. It comes with 4 measuring cups, which is really cool. So it comes with 4 measuring cups here, which is great. And then guys, it comes with 2 pairs of gloves and 3 craft sticks, which is really, really neat. Okay. So it's kind of like they gave you everything you need here. Okay. So this one was $21.99 on Amazon. So that's really nice too. So it also came with some instructions, so that's great. So $21.99, it's 8 ounces a piece, and it comes with 4 measuring cups, 3 craft sticks, and 1 pair of gloves. I have a page here filled with all of the stats, all of my research that I've done before I do these comparison videos, because you guys know I always do some research. So that is great. So that's our first one here. Now our next one is the HXD ZFX. So we're going to open this guy up here, 2 bottles, and some instructions. It does not come with any gloves or anything like the Peduo did. And this was really weird, guys. Okay, I'll tell you the price first. This was $19.99, which is not that bad. Okay, so it was $19.99, but they're different weights, which is really weird. So this one, the resin part, has 9.7 ounces, and then the hardener part has 8.8 ounces. So I get that maybe they weigh different, but if you're supposed to measure these equal parts A and B, so why exactly wouldn't they be equal parts? I don't really understand that, but like I said, I've used all these, so I do have some opinions on them, which is fine. And then, so that's that one. And then the next one here is, of course, amazing Clearcast. And this one, it comes with, I think it comes with 2 star sticks and a couple of cups, I know. But I've used this one before, so I didn't actually have those. I've used those already. So that's a shame. But this is $18.21. What an odd price on Amazon. And this one comes with 3 measuring cups and 2 star sticks. Excuse me again, I read all my stats now and realized that was incorrect. And the size of this is 8 ounces a piece. So these are 8 ounces and these are 8 ounces, but these are really weird. There's 8.8 ounces in the hardener and 9.7 ounces in the actual resin mixture, which is really weird. So now that we got all of these out of the box, what we need to do here is I'm going to test these one by one and show you guys, but we have some that have been completed. So the completed ones I have made cute little keychains of. So here they are. It is half clear resin and half glitter resin, and I've just added some keychains and things here. So this one is the amazing Clearcast, and then I have another one here. This one's glittery purple, really, really cute, and this one is the Paduo. And then this one here that I have finished, this last little keychain here, is the HXDZFX. I am going to have a hard time saying that all day. But, so I have finished projects here, and then I also have some that have been just setting that are not glittered or anything. They're just the resin in the mold that has been hardened. So I'll definitely take a look at these. We're going to break down the finished ones. We're actually going to do a mixture of all of these and place them in some molds in order for us to show you guys how they mix together. If one's harder to mix than the other one, if one seems a lot bubblier or anything like that. So what I'm going to give you guys are some facts about me having done these tests already. Okay, so I use brand new cups and stirrers for each round. Okay, so for each brand I had 2 different cups and 1 different stir stick. So I did not reuse anything, so it was all equal there. I used the exact same amount of each, 15 milliliters. Okay, I used 15 milliliters of each side. I stirred each brand for 3 minutes. I got out my phone timer, timed it, 3 minutes, stirred him, 3 minutes, stirred him, and 3 minutes, stirred him. So that was all consistent as well. I used a lighter to pop all of the bubbles several times. So as soon as I poured it, I would try and get some of those bubbles, and then I would set it to the side. I would do that again and again for about every 30 minutes, but just a couple times. In between projects I was creating, I would remember, oh, let me go see if I can pop some more bubbles. So I'd just go and, run my lighter over the top of that several times, but I always did them the same amount on all of them, so those are equal too. So now that we've went over all of my consistencies with doing all this, we're going to get into mixing our resins one by one. Okay guys, we've got everything ready. So first things first, glove up. If you're wearing any jewelry, take that jewelry off. Again, have yourself some clothes that you don't mind getting dirty or anything like that, because you will be getting kind of messy. And of course, accidents do happen. A lot of the times, guys, I'll come to work and think, oh, if I have to craft a lot today, it's okay. I'll just be careful. Even if you're careful, accidents happen sometimes, and I have ruined many shirts because I thought that I could be careful. So just don't take that risk. So guys, what I would highly recommend you using is these measuring cups. But listen, guys, I have used resin so much, I do not need these cups. Okay, I eyeball it on this one, then just even it out on this one. That is what I do. That's what I've always done. But to keep it consistent, like I did in the first round, use the measurements. Do 15 milliliters of each. But I'm going to set that aside and pour our resin in. So I'm going to do this resin here. So I'm going to pour this in our cup. I'm going to be looking over here on the side of our cup as well. Just pouring this here, and that is plenty. Okay, so got that mixed. Or excuse me, I got that poured, not mixed. I'm not that fast. And now you can't see it, but I can see it, my line over here that I'm going to be following for my other side here, my B side. So I'm going to, it kind of helps if I have a little shadow to see that on the cup there. And now I'm going to hold them up, look at them. They look very even, which sometimes it happens for me on the first try and sometimes it does not. So now what we're going to do, put the cap back on that one here. And now that you can tell there's one side that's a lot liquidy than the others. So it's definitely for this one, it's the B side. And you can see it looks almost like it's a different color. It's a little bit yellower over here. So what you're going to do is you're going to pour this into this. You're going to pour your B side and your A side. Always pour in the side that is the thinnest. Okay, so definitely this one is the thinnest. So now what we're going to do is make sure that you scrape the sides there. We want that to be even. And now we're going to pour in some glitter so that you all can see what we're doing. So I'm going to throw that cup away, and now I'm going to get in here and start stirring. So you can see now with that glitter, you can see what's going on. So the glitter is not going to inhibit the, you know, the resin from drying correctly or anything. All the glitter is doing for us guys is showing you guys how where it's at and what it's doing and things like that, just so it's not so clear you guys can see it. And now guys, we're going to set a timer for 3 minutes and stir this up for 3 consecutive minutes, and then we will be back to pour it into our mold. Okay guys, it has been 3 minutes and you can see it's all stirred up together. What that 3 minutes does is just ensure that you have really stirred in your A part with your B part, because you don't want any parts that dry firmer than other parts. So we're going to scrape our popsicle stick here, and you can toss this or you can keep it just in case you need to scrape the sides, but we have plenty of resin here, so I think we'll actually have a little bit left over after we fill our mold here. But here's our mold. And now we're just going to pour this into our mold, and we can stop. Okay, so think about this, guys. You can always add, but it's very hard to take this away. So we're going to pour and then stop. And then we're going to see where it went, and you can see it running. You can see it kind of filling in the little gaps here around this circle here. And I love that it already has the circle in all of these silicone molds. That really helps us attach our, you know, if you want it to be an ornament, it helps us attach our keychains or anything like that. So we see there's a lot left, a lot of room left in this silicone mold. So we're just going to fill this guy up, and I'm going to stop it there and toss our cup away, and that's going to all settle. Okay, so when that settles, we're going to go ahead and get that lighter and pop some of those bubbles. But for right now, we're going to look at the one that we have had hardening for us. So this is the Peduo, and also, guys, on this one, I have taken a Sharpie and added the name so I do not forget which resin is in which shape container. So this one says Peduo and this one says Peduo. So this one is, I have made this a couple days ago and it's been hardening. It's hard as a rock now. So all you have to do is pull it out of these silicone molds. So I just kind of go around the edges until it's all kind of out of there for me. And then I just peel it up from one side. And then usually that hole will pop out easy peasy. And you can see here, this is the finished heart. So again, they have all dried at the same time. They have all had bubbles taken out at the same time and things like that. So what I can see here, guys, if I bring my little blue mat in, you can see some bubbles. Okay, so this is a really good way for you guys to see those bubbles and to see what we've got going on here. So it's not crystal clear. Okay, I'm just going to say they all guarantee a crystal clear finish, and they are not all crystal clear, obviously, because crystal clear you would barely be able to see it. So that is definitely not as crystal clear as others that I have seen. So that's okay though. There's not a lot of negatives about this. I've had a hard time finding a lot of different negatives with all these resins because, again, they're a part A, part B solution. I've tried to keep as many elements consistent as I could. So I'm just going to pop this back in the mold or just kind of set it in here so that I know that this is Peduo and that I can show you guys a head-to-head comparison of the other ones later on. And then here's the finished keychain that I created with this one. And this was a really fun idea here. So I just took the circle and you can see from the side view, the first half was clear. Then I added our vinyl, except guys, I actually had to mirror this vinyl because I was laying it on the inside, and then I poured on the back this glitter. Okay, so now after that I added a little tassel here, and now you can see the glitter and the monogram here, and it's just a really cute little keychain idea here. So that's one idea that we have. And now I'm going to bring in our mold, and I hope you guys can see this, but we have a lot, you can, so we have a lot of bubbles that have popped up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our lighter, we're going to start our lighter up, and then you guys are going to be amazed at seeing this, okay? So watch the bubbles. Do you see those bubbles disappearing, guys? Look how cool that is. Look how cool, guys. I love doing this. So you just put this over the bubbles and they just pop like magic, okay? So make sure you go around the edge, go around, you know, the curve of this. Make sure you get all the surface, and you'll do that a couple of times. So we'll go ahead and let this guy start setting, and then we'll come back and start popping the bubbles again. But we're going to move on to our second brand of epoxy now. Okay, guys, here we are with HXD ZFX. I wish that had a better name, but we're going to do the exact same thing we did previously, which is pour one side in one part and the other side in the other. So we're just going to pour this in there, and that looks good. I think we poured a little bit too much, so we're just going to pour a little bit back in there and pop the lid back on. And now we're going to go to our other side here and add the exact same amount of the other side. Now this one, I do have to say, is exceptionally thicker than the other side, so it's going to be a little bit trickier, but that is okay. So I'm just holding these guys up to really see here, and they're pretty close, but I think I need a little bit more of this other solution. I'll pour that in a little bit. And it's kind of tricky to get them even, especially if you're not using measuring cups. So you guys can be smart and use measuring cups. Make sure you place all that back on there. And now we're going to find the one that is more liquidy, which is clearly this one. So this one is liquidy. So we're going to go ahead and pour in that glitter so you guys can see what's going on again. Then we're going to pour that liquid side into that harder side here. Scrape the sides with one of our new craft sticks here. And once you have that, you can go ahead and throw that cup away and get to stirring. So again, guys, we're going to set that clock for 3 minutes and make sure we are stirring consistently, and we will be back in 3 minutes. Okay, guys, it has been 3 minutes, and make sure that you're scraping the sides of that cup as well as you're stirring and getting all of that good and mixed in. So once you clean off your popsicle stick, we're going to do the same thing we did previously. We're going to pour this into our mold, and then we're going to stop and give it a minute and kind of let it fill into these little cracks here. We can see it making its way all the way down here, and we can see we have a little bit more room, so we're going to go ahead and pour some more of that in there and let that even out. And you can pour the rest of yours in a different mold, or you can throw the rest away, whatever you want to do. And now we're going to move this aside, and we're going to look at our finished one that we have. So here is this one that we made. We made all these using fonts as well for Makers Gonna Learn, if you were curious. And we used some pink glitter for this one and a tassel. And again, this, you can see from the side, you can see the resin and then the glitter. You can see I put too much of the first coat and not enough of the second coat. The second coat was quite thin on this one, but it still did really good. I can see some bubbles in the middle of my monogram if I look super close, just kind of where you can see a little cloudiness there where it just kind of, the bubbles wouldn't pop and it wouldn't dry crystal clear. But overall, it was a pretty good product, especially for being only 20 bucks. That was a pretty good product. So now we'll get the one that we had poured previously. So here's one that we poured. Again, we're just going to make sure it's loose on all these sides here and then pull it out of the mold, and it'll pop off there. So this one is actually pretty clear. So let me lay this one down. This one is pretty clear. I've got to hand it to this brand. That's pretty clear. Let me go ahead and bring in our Paduo heart. Okay, so here's our heart, and here is this brand. Okay, so this one is very very clear. Okay, there's a little bit of clouding, if you can see that happening in the center, but not nearly as bad as this heart. This heart is way cloudier than this. So guys, now that we are really looking at the head-to-head here of these clear comparisons, we can really see which one is clear. You know, I mean, that really looks clear compared to this. So that is a really, really good comparison here on seeing just how clear that these two are. I love that about it. So this one will go back in its little container here, and we'll do our other comparison with our third and final brand, which is Makers Gonna Learn's favorite brand to date, but I don't know, this one might beat it with how clear it was. But first we're gonna bring in our little guy here, and you can see some bubbles that have formed. So you guys know what we're gonna do. We're gonna get our lighter going, and we're gonna get all those bubbles out of there. You can see those bubbles just disappearing. I love doing that. That's so, so fun. So now we're going to set this little guy aside and get going on our third and final brand. Okay guys, it's amazing Clearcast time. So we are going to pour equal parts A and B here, just like we did before. Now I know how much that is. Now I'm going to be careful to pour the same amount of this in here. I'm going to close this up and hold these up and see if they're pretty even. And it looks like I need a little more of my A side here. And that looks great. So now the thinner side is clearly side A for us here. You can see how thin that one is compared to that one. So we're just going to pour our glitter in there so we can see what's going on. Pour the more liquid side into the less liquid side. Scrape those sides. You guys know the drill by now. Scrape those sides. Give it a minute. Let it really get all that in there because we want that even. Now we're going to stir this together for 3 minutes, guys. Be sure you're scraping the sides. Make sure you're not just doing the same, mix motion. Make sure you're really mixing it around and then getting all the sides and getting all that A and B side mixed in together. We want that to be super, super mixed together. And just as a little side note, guys, all of these brands say that they have a 40-minute work time, and what that means is that you have 40 minutes after you mix this all together. You have 40 minutes to make this make this where you want it, to place it where you want it, to put it in whatever mold you want to do, because after that 40 minutes it gets tacky is what happens. So you have 40 minutes of liquid work time before it starts to dry, so definitely make sure you keep that in mind when working with this. So we will be back, guys, in 2 minutes and some change. And we are back, guys. It has been 3 minutes, and we're going to go ahead and pour this into our mold here and then stop and let it fill in the little edges here, just like we see. And once we have filled out, I can see there's a little bit more room in our mold, so I'm going to go ahead and fill that up and let that even out. I'm going to toss this, and now, guys, we can talk about our finished one. So our finished one is gold as well, which is funny, so you can kind of see how it will look here. But you can see on the side that half of it was normal epoxy and half it was the gold epoxy. We added a little glitter tassel. We got these little tassels from 651 Vinyl. If you guys want to know, I will link those down below. And we added some of our vinyl here in between. It looks a little bit bubbly, like the black isn't super crisp because you can see the bubblies, but it doesn't really look cloudy anywhere, So, and we do have a finished one of this too without any glitter on it so that we can really see how clear it is. So here it is. And we're just going to move this around here and then pull it up out of its mold. And here it is, guys. And I'm going to move this guy aside a little bit, and he's pretty cloudy. He's pretty cloudy, guys. Look at that. So you can see him there. He's pretty cloudy, but he's like consistently cloudy. Like he's not bad where you can see like a cloudy spot here. He's just kind of all cloudy. So we're going to bring in, this is our American or Amazing Clearcast. American. Here's our Amazing Clearcast. Here's our Paduo. And then, guys, here is this crazy brand HXDZFX. Look at that. Look how clear that one is compared to the rest of them. So you can see a little cloudiness here. Guys, this one looks like it's the most cloudy. And I don't know why. I was popping the bubbles and all that good stuff. I always pop those bubbles consistently over all of them. But for some reason, this one ended up pretty cloudy that day. And this one is not cloudy. I mean, it might be a hair, like it's not crystal clear, but it's definitely crystal clear compared to these two. I mean, just look at the difference there. Look at the difference. This one's a little bit cloudy. This one's very cloudy, and this one's not very cloudy. So this, guys, has really opened my eyes to the difference in these brands. I thought that this video would be mostly me saying, well, guys, like I thought, you know, all these resins seem to do the same thing, seem to finish the same way, but boy, was I wrong. This one did have good Amazon reviews, but so did amazing Clearcast, and this one had pretty good Amazon reviews as well. So I was a little bit surprised at this, but honestly, guys, as far as this simple clear test goes, this HXDZFX, gosh, is doing very well. So that was very surprising and very good to see, though, that we might find a brand of resin that is better than the one we've previously used. So now, guys, you know the drill. We're going to bring in our little guy here, and we are going to get our lighter going and pop those bubbles. I love popping the bubbles. So, gonna pop all those bubbles here. And now is a good time to also revisit our other ones. So there's the first one. Here's one we did just a little while ago. And we need to pop all these bubbles here. So you guys are gonna see the magic happen. So I've got that lighter going. Popping these bubbles. Love popping those bubbles, guys. It's so neat. And I know what you guys are thinking, but silicone is heat safe, okay? People bake on silicone, do all kinds of things with silicone. So silicone's food safe. So I'm going to go over here and pop these bubbles on this guy too. Look at that. Love that. So now that we've got all that done, we have kind of got our head-to-head test going. You've seen the finished ones. You've seen some clear ones of it as a head-to-head test, and you have seen us be able to pour it into some molds. So now we will go ahead and, you know, kind of talk about which is our favorite and which we liked and which we didn't like, and some things about each of them. So guys, what did you all think about the head-to-head comparison we did today? I did love all these brands. We have used this one the most often. We have never used either of these, so it was definitely fun to make a project with them and then to kind of pour a little bit of clear into those and, you know, clean them all with a lighter and do them all exactly how we should do, and then still see the head-to-head comparison test. So guys, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but our amazing Clearcast did not win today. It was this crazy brand that I'm tired of saying that was, I believe this one was $19.99 and then this one was $18.29 and this one here, Paduo, was $21.99. So this one was the most expensive, this one was the second most expensive, and this one was the least expensive. So surprisingly, amazing Clearcast was not very clear, which I was very surprised about. But this crazy brand right here was very, very clear. It was pretty crystal clear. So I was pleasantly surprised with this brand here. And the only thing I'm super confused about still is why there are different ounces in each bottle. Maybe that's for a purpose. I'm not really sure. It kind of wigs me out because you're supposed to do the exact same amount in the A and B side. So for them to have different sizes, it does kind of make me a little bit weary. But as far as projects go and hardness goes and dry time goes, they were all about the same for that. This one did come with those extra cups and some stir sticks and things like that. And this one came with some cups and stir sticks. This one came with gloves as well. All this one came with was the 2 bottles and instructions. But really, guys, for the price and the quality that you get, I really do like this brand, which I'm mind blown about because we have always used amazing Clearcast. But it looks like we're going to have to restock with some of this crazy brand because it is really, really nice. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. As always, leave us a comment down below and let us know if you have any questions or comments or concerns, and I would be happy to answer those. I'll have all the products that we use in today's video linked in the description below, so definitely go check those out, as well as our favorite resin that we have decided today. Through all of my research and everything like that, I and very surprised. So this is their new favorite. We love this. I'm not saying the name again. It's a bunch of letters. I'll have it linked in the description below. As always, give this video a like, guys. And of course, ring that notification bell to get notified whenever more of these awesome videos come out. If you haven't already subscribed to Maker's Gonna Learn, guys, you are missing out on so much of crafty fun. If you have a die cutting machine that works with SVG and PNG cut files, then you're going to love this membership. We have so many cut files, so many fonts, free commercial licensing, printable guides, an exclusive members only Facebook group, and more. So click that link in the description below. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and stay crafty. Bye, guys.